And welcome back to the channel. If you're new and you're stopping by, you've just entered Cola's Destiny. Please don't leave without subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that you will see when I post a new video. To all of my old subscribers, thank you so much for continuing to rock with me. Thank you so much for your continuous love and your support. Now, if you've been keeping up with the channel and watching the videos, you would have seen my last video where I was speaking about introducing cooking to the channel. Now, if you watched the intro, my very first video that I've ever made here on YouTube, introducing myself to the YouTube world, you would have seen that I did mention that this channel wouldn't only be for beauty. I did mention that you would see other things in here, which was, you know, cooking and beauty and hair and shenanigans, just lifestyle stuff. So this is a lifestyle channel. Now, I didn't fulfill parts of what I said I would do on the channel because I wasn't very comfortable with myself, to be quite honest, to be on camera doing certain things. And I didn't know if you guys want to see it, but guess what? I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to do it, and give me your feedback on what you would like to see me do next. For today, I am going to be cooking. As you can see, I'm in the kitchen. I'm just going to be making something really quick and really simple. Nothing, not like a whole dinner. I'm just going to be making fried fish. So right here we have 4 fish, 4 red snapper. That's what it looks like there. My hands are clean. Always make sure your hands are clean. I know I have nails, but I always make sure my hands are clean. Nobody didn't die yet out of my kitchen, so I'm good. I'm gonna run it under some cold water. And make sure that everything from the inside of the fish is cleaned out. I like to run my cold water through the stomach of the fish and getting rid of parts like these, okay? You don't want the extra little guts and nastiness in there. And then once I do that, and I clean it out, I wash it out again. If you leave parts of the fish inside, it's going to taste and smell very raw. I'm going to run fresh water on our fish once again. But this time we're going to use the lime to cut the rawness out of your fish. So you want to make sure that your lime is nice and soft, and if it is a hard one, which these aren't too bad, just take your hand and roll it like this and soften it up. This is pretty soft. You can see my fingers are smushing it. They're soft. Guys, as you can see, I don't play with the rawness when it comes to fish. I like to use a lot of lime. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a fish, you're going to squeeze the lime juice inside the fish like this. Then you're going to take the piece that you cut and rub it all in the belly of the fish. And you're going to repeat that for each fish that you have. This step is extremely important. If you're not going to do this, don't bother making fish. It's just gonna, it doesn't matter what you season it with, it's going to taste raw. Especially when you have fried fish and you want to eat that, you know, the fins and stuff like that, and you're tasting it, it's like, ugh. That awful raw taste is such a turn off. And when you're done doing that, you should be able to literally to put your nose and smell it, and you don't smell anything at all. Go ahead and continue rubbing. Okay, so now to know that I did this one and I don't have to repeat, I like to take my knife and score it. This also helps the cooking process. When your fish is scored, you just do 2 to 3 slits. If your fish is really, really big, then you do more. So there's my scoring. And I like to take my juice, my lime juice, and just squeeze it inside of those little pockets. That one is done, and we're just gonna repeat with the next ones. Okay, my color pops, so the fish is in the lime. Okay, so we're going to heat up our pot, and I like to use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. So when you're frying fish, always make sure that your oil temperature is really hot. Right now I have mine on high just to heat up, and then I'm going to turn it down to a little bit past medium, just because I don't want these ingredients to burn, and then I'm going to turn it back up when I'm putting the fish in. Now, to combat the awful fishy smell in the house, you want to boil a pot of white vinegar. Here's my pot of vinegar. See, there's liquid in here. So that's just vinegar. When you're boiling the vinegar while you're frying your fish, you will never smell the fish in the house, okay? So you can keep that down low. Now in my pot of oil, I'm going to be putting these ingredients. So I have garlic that is cut up, thyme, Scotch bonnet pepper, and scallion, green onion. Call it what you like, it's the same thing. So we're going to add that to the pot. And this is just seasoning your oil to prepare for your fish. I'm not going to be cutting this though. I'm going to let it do its thing in the oil. Now once we have all of those in, I turn down my stove so that pretty much on low, so that these don't burn, they just flavor the oil. Okay guys, so for this next part is the seasoning of your fish. And when you're frying fish, you want to make sure that your fish are nice and dry. So you're just going to use a paper towel and pat them dry. Make sure you get the insides. Alright, so now that we've dried them all up, it's time to season. So in this bottle here, I have my own dry rub that I use for my fish, and I mark it as fish seasoning. This little label actually came off of another bag that I had purchased to add to this. So this has a lot of different spices in here that I choose to put on my fish. Now if you don't, obviously if you don't have your own rub that you like to use, you can use the Maggie's Season Up for Fish. That's what it looks like. And it also adds great flavor. So we want to start off with the middle of the fish, so the belly. So, and you also need black pepper. So we want to add the black pepper. Although there's black pepper in my mix already, I like to add black pepper in the head of the fish and the belly of the fish, just for some additional flavor. And then we want to put our fish seasoning in the belly. Place it down. Black pepper, your seasoned mix, now some people are quite content with just using salt and pepper on their fish. I like it a little bit more seasoned, so I make my own. Now, just to make sure that the inside of the fish is not overly seasoned, because it can be overly seasoned, honestly it can, you want to just take them and dust them onto each other like that. So whatever excess is coming out of that belly is what you don't want. So get all the excess out. Okay, now you want to take your season and lightly, very lightly, rub across one side of your fish. Massage it in, and try to make sure that you get the season inside of those little scores that we did. And then you want to turn them over. Okay, so now let's go back over to our oil that is heating and is being nice and seasoned. Let's go over to the oil. Okay guys, so I can already smell the aroma of the vinegar coming through. So we turn that down so everything doesn't evaporate out by the time we finish cooking. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the heat up on our fish, because like I did say, you need very high heat to fry the fish successfully. So we're going to go ahead and take out the scallions, because those have a tendency to burn, and I don't want that burnt taste in my food. And some of the garlic, the ones that were a little bit too small, we're taking those out as well. Now, so that the oil doesn't splash up all over your stove top, your countertop on you, you want to use one of these. Don't know what it's called, but it's a mesh that you use when you're frying food. I've seen these in Canadian Tire or Walmart, so you can go pick these up there. Just put that on top of your pot. So now your oil is nice and heated. We're going to go ahead and start frying the fish. You're not going to hear me speaking through this part, because I'm going to turn on the fan. Now when you're putting the fish in the pot, don't overcrowd it. Do not overcrowd it. And also head to tail. So instead of putting them in like this, you want to put them in like this. For some reason they decide to fight when they're in the pot, so you want to put them head to tail. Okay guys, so this is what our end result of our fish is looking like, the fried fish. by itself. Okay, so you can stop here, or you can cut up some vegetables to go on top. So what I did is I cut up some onion and I julienne some carrots, and we're going to saute those a little bit in the same oil that we used to fry the fish, and then we're just gonna put it on top. So there's the oil that we use for the fish. We just change it into a smaller pot, and I'm just gonna add Wow guys, I didn't realize that the sizzle from the vegetables were going to be so loud, so I had to mute this part of the video. Anyways, here I'm adding the julienne carrots, the onions, the pimento seeds, and I am using the same oil that I used to fry the fish in a different pot, and I also left the hot pepper in there. Now I'm going to be adding the vinegar that I was using to deodorize the house. So because it was already boiling, it's boiling out some of that harsh vinegar taste. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that to the pot and then let it cook right out, and then I'm gonna add it to the fish. And here is the final result of our fried fish. Now, if you notice, one of these guys are gone. Yes, my boyfriend came in and decided that he was going to wait until I turned my back for him to steal one. That's what usually happens around here. I never get to finish cooking one thing without somebody stealing something out the pot. Fried fish. Now you can serve this with bread. You can serve this with fried dumpling, festival, eat it by itself, have it with some tea, avocado or pear as we call it in Jamaica. Bon appetit! Whew, they say if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Wow, I stay in the kitchen. Anyways, I'm about to have my fish, and I added just 2 slices of bread, and I have my sour sap juice. And if you guys would like to see me make this, I will add this to the channel as well. So yummy. So let's dig in. My mouth is watering just trying to get to it. So guys, if you follow my instructions on how I cook my fish, let me know how it turned out. You'll see the importance of using the lime, and you'll see the importance of seasoning the inside of the fish. When you're frying fish, when you fry fish, everything on the fish should be able, you should be able to eat every single thing on there, not just like pick out this part, put it down because it's a little raw. Now I am the taste tester for my own food, and not because I cook it I'm going to tell you that it tastes good. If it doesn't taste good, my taste buds are very funny. I won't eat it even if it's my own food. But there's no one home. My boyfriend was on his way out. He stole one before it was even finished, and everyone else has gone about their business. When they come back, they'll eat it. It's satisfying to me anytime I can get the fish bone off clean like this. Why? I don't know. It reminds me of when I used to watch Flintstones as a little girl. When I used to use the fish bone and comb their hair. Does anybody else like the fish tail? I love it. I love it. I love it. It pisses me off when I tell them to clean my fish and then I take it home and it has no tail. So now I make sure, as much as I can remember, because sometimes I forget to tell them, clean the fish but leave the tail.